Okay, today I'm going to be taking off the side emblems here. As you can see, I plastic dipped it. I don't like how the paint came out because I can still see chrome right here. It didn't come out that well here, and the paint looks, I don't know, I suck at painting, so I didn't like it. I'm gonna be replacing it with these, which are the blacked out, so that way it matches out everything on my car, which I blacked out. These front, and then of course the back, but I just didn't like how this came out. There's a spot, you can see like runs of the paint with the plastic dip, so I'm gonna be replacing both sides of it. So hopefully this works. This is gonna be a video for myself, and hopefully it helps other people if they're gonna do the same thing. All right. Now I'm going to tape up the edges around here, so that way when I use a fishing string, I'll be able to, I won't be able to damage the paint. That's my idea, so I'm going to try to put it as close as I can, and then hopefully works out. So I'm going to do that. That's all set. So now when I do one section at a time, I'm gonna start off with this section, then I'm gonna go to this section. So it's gonna be a little tricky, but I'm gonna start heating it up, hopefully loosen up the glue that it has behind it, and then work it with the fishing string. So I'll show you what I'm using. So here's the fishing string I'm using. And then I'll be trying to heat it up with the blow dryer, so hopefully it works out pretty good, but gotta set that one up right now. Just gonna be doing this section here first. So I've been seesawing it all around, all corners. Now I'm gonna try to pull it out, but it's gonna be a trick to it because there's gonna be some clamps on the inside of it. So I'm gonna hopefully do my best in getting it out with that. So this is gonna be replacing that. So it has the clips on it, so you can see this is gonna be a clip. Show you. Which I'm gonna go in and just pinch it right there on the inside, and then the back one I'm hopefully gonna be able to go through and then clamp it like this in the inside. So that's what I'm gonna be doing to pull it off, and I'm gonna leave the string right here so I have something to grip it and pull it out with. So hopefully it works. So let me go ahead and get into it and then get the clamp right here and then pinch it. So yeah, that just happened. As I was pulling it out, easily coming off on this end here, I pulled it out just enough, but then the back end just snaps. So I'm losing, something fell in there in the bottom of the hole, and I didn't get the chance to solder all the way through. As you can see, I just soldered up to the edge, solder up to the edge here, but then I was trying to pull it out, but I guess this happened. So time to try to get this stuff off. Okay, so I got most of this off by hand. I heated it more on the goo, and it kind of comes off like a bubble gum. But I'm gonna be using a tool to do the rest. Now it's gonna be my attempt to start doing it on this side now, on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on that one. And then okay, so I took off this one. This one's a little tricky. I had to do it by sections. So I was able to take off this, sorry. I was able to take off this side, pull it out, and then was able to put the line underneath it. And then seesaw all the way up to here, I stopped. So what I did is I ended up seesawing with the fishing line up here on the top, and then trying to get around the edges here, and I seesaw. Then when I was done there, I went back to pull this out very, very loose. After I seesawed underneath here, pulled it out, and then I thought I was able to pull the whole thing out. It snapped right here, but none of the pieces fell inside, so that was good. I didn't have to take out the door here. But this one, the piece was still attached to it, so let me show you what it looks like here. So this was the section here, and I was able to pull it out, as you can see. Actually, no, it's the wrong section. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is the right section. So I was able to pull it out here, and I pulled it off, and I guess there's a black underneath it. So I was able to pull this whole section off. It just kept off the black. The black pieces, which is right here, had two clips. Sorry, moving around everywhere, but it had two clips. So this one fully attached. Was able to pull that one out. This one broke off, but it was stuck into the door, and I was able to grab it with nail pliers, or actually just take it out from the side because it was still stuck. But this one might be a little tricky. If it falls in, you're gonna end up having to take out the door handle and pulling out the bottom speaker to get this little piece off, or you're gonna be hearing a bunch of rattling inside your car. But I was lucky enough, I was able to break off and came apart. Didn't do any damage, but as again, I'm gonna heat it up, take off as much as I can, like some bubble gum, and then put the new pieces on this side. I'll be done. Bubbles up like bubble gum, I guess, and just start working it and peeling it off. And that's about it. And then I'll be using the machine on the rest, or the drill on the rest of it. If it gets a little too hard for you, then you're just gonna heat it up a little bit more, and then you'll be able to take it all apart. That's it. So let me use the drill on the rest of it. So I'm gonna use this rapid adhesive remover spray. I'm gonna spray around it to get as much as I can, and then probably use a rag to cloth to get the rest of that gunk out as much as I can. Just thinking, if I use the wax, I might have a bunch of wax residue in the inside because of these holes. I don't know if anybody has ideas on how to clean it out with that, but I was thinking about using the drill for it. Oh, let's see if it works. I'll start on this end first, because I know a bunch of leaves and stuff falls down. I already broke a piece of plastic and went down that forever hole down there, and I'll never be able to get that out. But I'm gonna spray as much as I can, clean it down with this, and then hopefully I get most of it off. And I'll probably use the bit for the rest. Now remember, there's wires inside here, so you don't want to just start spraying a bunch of stuff on there. The gunk remover, I just sprayed it on the rag and then just started kind of getting as much as I can off. As you can see, it kind of comes off pretty good, but you know, there's still some residue here, a lot of residue here, especially around this corner. So I'm gonna try to use the wax gun, just kind of clear it up as best I can. All right, so this is the gun. Try to do it as best I can. Hopefully I didn't have to use too much of this one because I don't want wax going inside these holes. But I'm gonna go ahead and work on it right now. All right, love the wax gun. I was able to clean the rest of it off with the wax gun. Surprisingly, not too much of the wax went through it. Of course, it went in between the doors, but I'm gonna try to clean that off anyways. But yeah, looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it off. See the dust still there. I'm gonna clean it off the best I can. Then put the new emblems and then start the other side. All right. All right, now let's put the emblems on. All right, now just gonna put some pressure in between it because you don't want any like bubbles in that glue. So yeah, I kind of want to push it in as much as I can, even though you hear the snap inside of each one. Kind of want to just press it in so that way you don't have any gaps and water doesn't leak inside of it because they have open holes inside there. But yeah, hopefully you guys like it. But now we are done. Just pulled off the last of the tape and that's how it looks. Gonna work on the other side now. Do the other side, so I'm gonna clean it off with some rubbing alcohol and tape it up. So wish me luck on this side. All right, it's being cleaned with some Q-tips and of course rubbing alcohol so it dries up quicker. Taped it up here. I didn't really need the tape on top here since I'm gonna be working the wires towards me, but as you can tell, the reason why I have to tape it up is there's an indent inside these things, and I really don't want to scratch up the indent, so I try to go as close as I can to that indent with the tape right there, so that way whenever basically I call it flossing, working it through, I don't want it to scratch up the indent. So that's why I'm kind of protecting it a little bit. I'm sure you guys will too if you try it yourself. But I'm gonna start flossing this one. I'm gonna cut a line right here. Oh, maybe I'll cut it later. I didn't have to open the door and take out the piece, but I'm hoping my good luck stretches this way too, so where I don't have any drop pieces in the inside, or I'm gonna have to take out the door panel. I don't want to hear that rattling. I'm sure you guys don't want to either. But I'm gonna try my best and work it through. Okay, so this side was weird. I was able to pull this off just by the floss, and honestly, when when I was flossing on top to get the edges, it just fell right off. Like these clips weren't even in all the way, which is pretty good. It saved me some time taking it off, but now it's time to replace it. As you can see, it used to be the chrome plastic divot, and you can still kind of see the chrome on the edges, but I'll show you what it's gonna look like afterwards. Well, not so lucky on this one. I lost some pieces in the inside, so I'm gonna have to open up the door and this one. So I'm just gonna finish it up what I can do right here, and then open the door because I know it went on the bottom right here by the speaker. So but that stuff happens. Alright, got as much as I can of that gunk off. Got that done. Clean it off a little bit, get some of that dust off, and put the new emblems on. All right, done. Just had to open up this door panel to get the junk that fell on the bottom of it, but the back of it. But how does that look? Pretty shiny. I like it. It's gonna match all the other ones. Here's the old one that I plastic dip. Even though it's a gloss black, it didn't come out. You can kind of see the imperfections in the paint. This looks really bad. Same thing on there. You can see like there's chrome. You can see the chrome kind of sparkling in, even though it's black. I just don't do that good of a paint job. I think that one has a bleeding or running, and then it has this one has the chrome underneath on the bottom, and it's like, I don't know. I just like how it came out. That looks shiny. Looks good. And here is the other side. Looks good right there. So that's it. All right, now it's time to, after I put all this stuff on, now it's time to get the pieces that fell inside the door. So I'm gonna be popping off the door, and then I'm gonna be starting with this piece here. I'm gonna start in this corner, pull it out this way because there's a piece in the back that you could be breaking if you pull it off wrong. So I'm gonna start pulling it off in this one. Wish I had 4 hands, right? So I can hold it up and show you what it looks like. But start working on it. Okay, I wedged it out from this end. You don't want to break the back end right here. So I pulled it out so I can get to this screw right there. All right, so I got the screw in there, and then I also got the screw that's gonna be right here. So I just loosened that one up, but you wanna make sure you get those screws. Okay, I removed all 3 screws right there, and then the one down there. Okay, loosen up all the sides right here on the side. So I'm gonna just lift up and pull it out. Okay, I lifted up the door handle. Now I had to take off the speaker wire right here. It's gonna be a little tricky because you have to get pliers and get that little button on top right here. See, it's right here, but I couldn't reach it, so I had to get some pliers and get that out. And then also I had to take out this breaker right here. So that was a nice one because it was a white one. You just lift it up and then you pull it out. So again, there's a white thing, you lift it up, whole thing pops up, and then you just pull that thing out. I didn't take off anything else, and I'm just gonna leave it resting against here because focus is just to take off the speaker and then get the plastic that just fell on the bottom on there. All right, so just gonna get the screwdriver and then get the rest of the screws right here that need to come off on the outsides. All right, took off all 4 screws, and now I'm gonna pull out the speaker. And then so I went in and grabbed the piece of plastic that was down there, and then still holding the speaker because I didn't want to mess too much with that one. And then putting the speaker back in. As you can see, I got the little piece of plastic that all broke off. Now it's time to put it all together. Now put everything back on and you are all set, just in reverse order.